All right, welcome to the Joe of All Trades podcast. I'm your host, Joe Latch. With me, I got a good friend of mine for damn near 20 years, Ryan Stimac, and this is our first episode of the actual podcast itself. Had some other content, that I'll have on the channel, movies, food, drinks, stuff like that. But this is pretty much what I would like to do, in terms of the meat and potatoes of the channel, of the content that I'm creating. So if you like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and Twitter. All the links will be below in the description. If you want to donate to further help the production of the content, please consider donating via Patreon. Maybe at some point I will get exclusive content or swag or this or that, but we're a little early in the stages for that, but we're getting there. You can find everything as joeofalltrades.content, or if you just YouTube or Spotify search Joe of All Trades. If you want to email the show, email me at joeofalltrades.content@gmail.com. In early stages, if you're watching this, you probably know who I am. In terms of just, personally, not like, do you know who I am? But if you're watching this, I've watched this content creation channel on various platforms. I've primarily been focused on other stuff, like making stuff about movies, but I, want to cover music, food, all that stuff that I was talking about earlier. But like I said, this is what I want to focus on in terms of, I want to highlight great people in the community of Northeast Ohio. I want to plug their businesses. I want to highlight their philanthropic endeavors, and I want them to get them to tell their story. Because I always feel like there are a ton of great people doing great things for people in our community, and if they have a great personal story, I want to sit here and tell it, and then just kind of bullshit and have some fun. And for that reason, I'm really excited to have Ryan here as my first guest, Sty Guy, what have you, because I've known him for so long. I'm super excited. He's got a great story, and I'm glad that we're sitting down and finally doing this. So, like I said, we got Ryan Stimac here. He's a realtor.
Realtor.
I
guess that's how you're supposed to say it. Isn't that kind of a weird thing?
Yeah, kind of like
realtor. I always used to say realtor,
but
it's realtor.
Or it's like the seller or the sellor. It's like legal shit, which you kind of deal with to some degree. And if you hear the dog in the background, I apologize. That's my dog Otis. He's not feeling too good today, so I'm not gonna get too mad at him. But
yeah, thanks for having me, dude.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Thanks.
It's really cool to be like first episode. What a long road it's been since we've met each other. Since St. Vincent St. Mary High School.
Yeah.
I always love dropping that in conversation because people are like, "Isn't that where LeBron went to school?"
Yes.
Yeah. We went to high school with LeBron. He might not have been in the building when we were, but he definitely came and visited a bunch, though.
Yeah, and I mean we met him a couple of times.
Yes. Yep. It's when you run in those circles, it's one of those stories where it's like you don't even tell people because they don't believe you.
Right.
No, I've met the man a couple times. It's really cool.
No, it's funny when I go out of town and people are like, "Oh, Akron? You mean like St. V? Do you know LeBron?" I go, "Yes."
They're like, "Oh yeah."
And they're like, "No." I'm like, "No, I do." So my brother is in the Sports Illustrated episode, or not episode, the one that he was in the magazine, that issue when he was first in high school, and LeBron's like making this fantastic catch against Walsh, and the weather was terrible and it was cold, and my brother's in the background with his hands in his pants, keeping his hands warm.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So I was thinking this. He was always funny. Like my brother's in Sports Illustrated with his hands in his pants. But yeah, I was gonna say St. V. I met you going into sophomore year.
Yeah, my freshman year.
Yeah.
I came in from Norton. A couple other Nortonians that came over.
Yeah.
It's kind of the reason we came over. So happy that I ended up coming to Akron to school. I never thought I'd be in high school in Akron. Thought I'd grow up, go to Norton High School, and kind of stay there. And then ended up coming to a private school somehow, which was crazy. And then meeting all you fools was, really one of the most pivotal things of my life, leaving that and coming over and meeting a whole new school of people coming around from all the local Akron schools, you know, St. Hilary, St. Sebastian, like all those in Akron, and everybody's blended there. It was a culture shock for me, definitely.
I mean, and even making that transition, I mean, you kind of come full circle even now.
Yes.
Even now, so it's kind of crazy. So
What's really cool about that is I'm always grateful that I did go to multiple schools, because I met more people. I'm a people person, right?
Mhm.
So it kind of transitions into perfectly being a realtor. I always say real estate agent, just so you know. But being a real estate agent, being in the community, meeting people, knowing people, it's what it's all about, which is really cool. So it gets confusing when people are like, yeah, we went to school together.
Mhm.
And now that I'm getting a little bit older, still consider myself young, but I'm like, yeah. And I'm thinking, what school?
Yeah.
I remember what school.
Yeah, and you're like, oh yeah, like you want to be nice.
Yeah, it's
and,
V, and it's somebody I grew up my whole life with in Norton.
Mhm.
They're like, no, we've been in school since we were in kindergarten together. Like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember it was like summer gym. You were, and you came out. Was it wrestling that kind of brought you over? Or?
Yeah, kind of. Sports in general, and just opportunity. I think Norton was going through levies and transitions, like financially with the schools, and I think it was like the first time a levy got put up and failed, if I'm not mistaken, when I was in 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
I had a buddy of mine that was in your class, Brian Dean, amazing wrestler, won state championship his senior year at St. B, but had a good middle school career. But that was kind of the catalyst of me going over there too, because I wrestled with Brian on Norton's middle school team, and he went over, and it was like, oh wait, that's a possibility. Like I can do that.
Yeah. I mean, I think Norton's pulled themselves around. I think
Yes.
I think it's their school system is.
They're great, man.
Is great
They're
now.
great for a public school like that. They built that new high school. Yeah, they're great. You got a good football team going.
But
So
yeah, I can remember people saying it was kind of rough back in the day when you came over. Well,
yeah, and I think it's just so different because you don't know, like when you're that age. It was just normal to me. It was because it is. It was great. It's a great school. It just wasn't, and it's all about the individual too. But academically, obviously, it probably wasn't comparable to some of the city schools and definitely private schools in Akron.
Yeah. So I remember you just being this real tiny guy, super tiny. You might
Still
have been
not
like
too big,
85 pounds.
Yeah,
Well,
92 maybe.
you got those shots that made you grow.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I
I'm trying to
regret
get some more.
I
I'm
regret
trying to get
not
some more
having
now.
them because
Human growth hormone.
yeah,
I always forget that I was on that.
it
too,
just
yeah.
made me fat, but, or more fat.
yeah. It makes everything grow. That's what they say.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm talking about your heart and brain.
oh, okay. Of course, my mind went somewhere else, but yeah. So I just remember you were this tiny ass guy, and you're in a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I think the beginning of, like shortly after that school year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I broke my femur.
Skitching, right?
Sketching on the back of a truck. Yeah,
Okay.
somebody I grew up with. Shout out to Jock. He's a Norton guy, but yeah, he was driving his truck in the neighborhood. I'm like, hey, pull me home.
Mm-hmm.
And that fucker didn't slow down.
Of course you didn't.
I'm like, hey, slow down. He just looked at me.
Yeah.
Instead of jumping on the back of the truck, I tried to push off. And if you've ever ridden a skateboard, you get speed wobbles, and it was just boom, right to the concrete.
Yeah. I feel for you, Jock. I made a mistake. Sorry, asshole. But yeah, so like, and all my friends are like pushing you around in this wheelchair, and I'm like, holy shit! Like they like hijacked this like wheelchair-ridden kid to fuck with him, and
Right.
it turns out like, dude, you turns out you're like one of the like toughest no nonsense dudes I've ever met.
I love that. Yeah.
It's just I just remember like the flat brim and your wispy hairs coming out the side of it and all that shit.
And that's funny. That reminds me. They finally made a rule because you're right. I had you guys like in your class above me. Hey, I'm Ryan's wheelchair pusher this period. So I had sophomores leaving class on a different floor early to come pick me up, and the teachers. It took like a few weeks because Joey's coming, like leaving class early. We're running around the halls. He's pushing me. We're doing wheelies. Finally, teachers were like, absolutely not. Oh yeah, because I had an elevator pass too, so everybody wanted to ride the elevator. They're like, no, whoever's pushing you has to be in class with you. So it ended up being like Nick Thomas and some people that were actually in my classes. We got to leave early and hit the elevator. It was fun, but yeah.
Right. You were like Mike Bryant. You had to be like a freshman or like a sophomore twice.
Yeah. Yeah. Half of your class probably still thinks I was in your class.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's funny. Mike had that same experience.
So then that gets it. You know, you become a part of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's this group of guys that's like, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 guys. We call each other the Braz.
Probably the worst thing coming for parties in high school.
Right.
You call one of us, we're
coming up 10, 12 deep.
We're all coming. Cases of beer.
Yeah. I can remember it was, I can't remember, maybe it was Dom Oliverio, maybe it was like Nick Ladshaw. And dude, there was a party and none of us got invited. And I was like, dude, why didn't you invite me? He's like, I can't remember if it was Nick or it was Dom. He's like, guys, because you guys roll in so deep.
I cannot.
Like I can
15
I can
dudes
have,
show up with no girls.
Yeah, like my mom's gone for the weekend. I can have 5 guys over. I can't have 12 guys going crazy.
Yeah.
Fine.
And your valuables would be in danger of just getting broken.
Yeah, it was. We were bowling a China shop, but it was like, we always rolled around like 10, 12 deep, and it wasn't just, it was wherever we went.
Everywhere. Whether we're walking through the city. I mean, we used to walk miles.
Yeah.
Miles. And we're together.
Bikes. Dave had his caddy. You could get like 8 people in that thing.
I think you had a Saturn.
I had a Saturn, which we could get like maybe 6 people in if we were really pushing it. So sketchy. Like a rotting out frame. Just an absolute death mobile if we got hit. Just going everywhere. Playing basketball in the summertime. You know, I was getting in trouble. You know, and everybody's parent is a secondary parent.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, which was the coolest thing.
Yeah. I mean, and your mom, God bless her. She's like.
She was a soldier for us a lot of times, man. She drove us around. And
the coolest lady too.
Yeah. She really is just an angel on earth.
Mm-hmm. And everybody's kind of parents kind of chipped in, but I felt like your mom chipped in to.
She was around a lot. Yeah.
She was around a lot.
She was just the type of like, hey, if you guys are gonna do dumb shit, like just let me like at least guide or I'll just drive you guys to do crimes. I'll be the getaway driver.
Right.
So she definitely was.
And like I met and known your dad a little bit more since I've gotten older, but I will say this: I didn't remember him much because he was literally always working.
Yes, always working. Yeah, that's the one thing. Like I have always known a work habit and work because of him.
Yeah.
Like there's no excuse. He's always like that's what he did. You have to. Like how am I going to support the family?
I mean, and there were so many times where like I crashed at your house or we crashed at somebody else's house on a Friday night, Saturday night, and it's like you're getting up in the first thing in the morning and we're all sleeping in.
Off to work.
And he's like, yep, Dad's having me do this, Dad's having me do that.
Yep.
So, I mean, your dad's cool too.
He's the man.
He is the man. I think
still working in retirement.
I honestly think the first time I met him is when I crawled into your mom and dad's bed.
Oh, that is hilarious when I had you guys over.
Yeah, and I got drawn on my face. So this kid comes crawling into his bed and he's got Sharpie drawn all over his face, and I'm like,
he's probably like, your friends are absolute dumbasses.
And like I was trying to like be the dad of the group or be the go between the parents and the rest of the kids.
You really were too. Yeah, you were like our liaison.
Yeah. But not your dad.
that ruined that bridge a little bit.
Dude, that's not the only time I've done that, unfortunately. But either way.
What, crawled into a parent's bed?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Amazing.
Ricky's parents. I did that one time.
Could be worse parents' beds to
crawl into. Right. They had like one of those footstools at the end of the bed. I was on that. And Ricky's dad was like, Lads, man, get up. what's going on? So, all right. So we kind of started talking about your family. Obviously, your mom, your dad, awesome people.
Yeah, I grew up in Norton. They're still in Norton,
Mm-hmm.
where I was at pretty much. They lived in Wallhaven before that, and then when it was like, hey, we're gonna have 2 boys, find a school, so they went to Norton, and it was like perfect, man. That neighborhood was perfect, you know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like I can remember there was like always when you started coming to St. V and we started hanging out with you, then not only did we get to know you and your brother, but also like the other Norton.
Yeah,
people.
those Norton guys.
So like obviously Dino and Corey Hamill and all those guys.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So
yeah, that was cool, man. It's always that's the thing about why I said it's so nice that I blended 2 schools like that, just because it's scary when you're younger, which you don't realize it. Like you think like, oh my gosh, like how am I gonna leave my school? But like it's one of the best things I ever did. Yeah. I didn't even graduate from St. V too. You know, I left and went back to Norton, but it was like those are still blended now. It was so cool to be able to have all these different people, and you go to St. V, like I said, you meet Walsh, Hoban, all those other schools that I would have never met at Norton.
Yeah, and like
I'd have been hanging out with Barbara and kids. God bless them.
And like kind of like the same thing for me is that like I went to Akron Public Schools, for elementary school and middle school, and then I went to St. V for high school, and like dude, I have so many friends left that I still had that were still going to Firestone.
Yes.
And I still know those people to this day. So it's like you really did expand your catalog of people that you know.
Yeah. It was really, really cool. And man, we're lucky that we all made it through high school. Even just high school was like young, dumb kids because we pushed the limits. We did push the limits.
Yeah, I think we did.
And playing sports as well. I chose another route. I think it was my junior year when like partying took over the precedence of dedication to sports, and wrestling is hard as it is. And I remember it's like middle of soccer season actually that year, and I'm like, hey, like I remember calling my parents. I'm like in the back of your truck. I think you had the truck at that time, or we were going somewhere. We left school. You guys left school. I just didn't go to practice, and I'm like, hey mom, I quit soccer. Like I don't want to do that. I just wanted to have fun. I wanted to hang out with my friends. Looking back, it's like, man, you should have obviously maybe stuck that out. But these are all the things that happen for a reason. Yeah. But I definitely it was hard to keep up with sports and stuff like that.
Dude, wrestling, I give credit to any kid that does wrestling. That is as much as dedicated as like people think that their kids are to a particular sport. Wrestling is far and away.
It's the best, man. I might have a bias, but it's the best. It's the best. Lessons learned, and testament of you're on your own. You're on a team, but you're one on one.
Right.
It's a cool sport, man. I've been able to have it personally impact myself and teach me lessons that I think about, and even watching, now my kids do it is so cool. The young kids. So.
Let's get to that, but definitely. I mean, like, you learn how to handle yourself, in a controlled environment. I think, like, is probably, if you're going to get in a fight with somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, it's probably the best thing to know.
Yeah, because most people get tired in a fight in 2 minutes anyway. And if you have some kind of wrestling understanding, it's just, it is a whole leverage up on that.
Right.
I'm seeing my 8-year-old
quite literally leverage
with his friends. I'm seeing my 8-year-old now where kids are like, oh, let's wrestle. And it's like kids maybe, and I talk to him, I'm like, did they feel strong? Maybe stronger than you? He's like, yeah, but I can wrestle all of them. If they don't know how to wrestle, like, it really does make a difference. I had kids that were, my cousin Tony Dolan, he was stronger than me from the jump. So he started wrestling, I think his freshman or sophomore year. He came late to the party.
Right.
And I could beat him at first. Strong as hell. And I knew he was stronger, but I had technique. I'd been wrestling since, 3rd grade, 2nd grade. Once he figured it out and was strong, though, it was a totally different game. Me and him started actually butting heads, and he started beating me. but it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. Once you learn it, it's a different game changer.
And to go off on a little tangent, I probably knew that you guys are cousins.
Yeah, it's
but
crazy.
I forgot at some point.
We're like second or third cousins, so I just and he became one of my best friends.
Right.
So now he's, that's my cousin too, not only one of my best friends. That's happened to me twice in my life actually, where I was friends with somebody first, and then we start talking, and then like, oh, your last name's this, and then you find out like, oh, like we're kind of distantly related, whether it's second or third cousins. So, yeah,
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, Tony's a trip. He's one of my favorite people.
Yeah, he's the best. You could always he's no bullshit either.
Mm-hmm.
You could always be like, hey, dude, I need a favor, and he's like,
I'm on it.
Yeah, whatever you need.
Yeah, he's always been there. It's nice.
Okay, so obviously, you got parents. We talked about them. You got Hillary and the boys.
Yeah. So now it's just crazy, man. It feels like all that stuff was 2 months ago. You know what I mean? It feels like I'm still 20. It still feels like I'm still a sophomore sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And then life just it goes, man. Time does not slow down. Now, Hillary, we've been together 6 years. The kids are just so much fun, man. Hillary had a 2-year-old when I met her. He's 8 now.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like my first introduction to being a dad and having that. That's my first boy, you know what I mean? Like, Rex is definitely my first son, and he's the best kid that I could have ever met, and as well as her. But yeah, he's been a blessing in my life. I mean, he's the reason I stopped smoking cigarettes, because I met her, and she's a beautiful girl. I'm trying to hang out with her, trying to get a second date here. She's way above my level anywhere, you know what I mean? I'm out kicking my coverage. What do they say this?
Yeah. I mean, I'd agree.
And then she's got this 2-year-old little baby, and I'm like, I can't fucking smoke cigarettes around these people. Like, I gotta cut it. So that was the motivation actually, to quit smoking cigarettes.
And then how old's Ro now?
Ro is 16 months.
Okay.
Yep. Then me and her, had Ro a few years after. We were together. What is it? Almost 5 years or so when we had Ro, which is so cool. Having those 2 boys, I'm in a family with 2 boys.
That's what it made me think of that. About
yeah,
and Eric.
yeah. So it's super cool. Me and Eric are 3.5 years apart. So Ro and Rex have a little bit of distance, but it's just so fun with these boys. I must have a bias because I am so scared to have a daughter. I even think about that. That doesn't even feel like it could be possible with now the boy energy in our house, but it is so cool. But yeah, it's been the coolest thing ever to meet somebody and share that life with them, and then have a child with them. It's just a trip.
Yeah.
It is a trip. It is just like a slow mushroom trip that is happening every day nonstop.
You just kind of wake up and you're like, it's kind of bug-eyed.
I cannot believe we made a person. Like, we literally made a person. And he is joking and kicking and laughing and screaming.
Yeah.
Super cool.
And you said Rex wrestles?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Rex, I think the first sport he got into is soccer. So his dad's great. His dad played baseball. We all it took a bit, but we all get along and stuff. So his dad's got a baseball background. That's the sport that he played. I don't know if he played anything else, but he's playing baseball now and he's loving it. Like, I was not a baseball guy. Tried to play a year. I don't know if you played when you were younger.
Like coach pitch.
I played 1 year at coach pitch.
Yeah.
My team wasn't great, so I came from soccer, really active. I get on the base and then my team doesn't, and I'm walking back and I'm like, this is too slow for me. So I didn't really get into it. Watching Rex get into it and love it has been so much fun. It's been so much fun. But he played soccer in the summer before that, and then wrestling. He's been wrestling the last 2 or 3 years, and it's been so cool because of how much that sport meant to me. And it does. Like, when you're a wrestling person, most of us get tied to it in one way or another. Some people are super dedicated and they, it's an all year thing. I don't know how these parents find the time and money to even travel to these places and everything. God bless them.
You'll find out somehow, some way, dude.
Yes, For sure. And it's been so cool to be back involved with it and watch Rex wrestle. Like, he's a very shy kid, and it's like he's going out there to battle, and he loves it. You know,
Yeah.
Nervous. First year was rough, nervous every time, and it just gets better and better.
Yeah. Just kind of exposure therapy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's been so cool. So it's just cool to see these lessons now full circle coming to my head. It's just
Awesome,
so
dude.
cool.
Maybe he can teach you something about baseball.
100%. 100%. I'm telling him with golf, I'm like, you need to get actual golf lessons.
Yeah.
Because, Rye, I just am self-taught, winging it. Most of us are. You know, I'm
Yeah.
like, if you learn, because he loves golf too, because you know, he likes baseball, and I'm like, if you learned how to actually swing a club, unlike me, you'd be dangerous. Because I'm okay for, you know, self-taught.
Well, sure. Yeah, but I mean, obviously, the younger you get started, the just more likelihood that you're going to be better.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I started when I was 10.
Yeah.
In, like, maybe if I pursued it in high school, I might be been a better player. But, like,
Yeah. It's one of those, it's a sneaky sport.
Yeah.
I slept on it in high school.
And I told,
Never in my life would I have imagined to golf.
and I always told all of you guys, I mean, me and Joey would golf.
Yeah.
I told all you guys, I'm like, hey, when you can't put on the pads anymore.
Yeah.
When you
Basketball.
Can't play basketball anymore. I mean, you can still play like some
Horse.
Yeah. I mean, and dude, and they have like rec leagues or older
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
No, I
And
can
was
still
like,
move around, but some of us can't.
right. But then, or, you know, wrestling, all that stuff. I'm like, you know, like, you guys, when that's all said and done, all of you are going to be
It's
playing
sport.
golf.
And it's happening.
And
It's so cool.
I mean, obviously, it started when people, you know, 21, 22 years old, and they're like, wait, what? Like, you can go out and be outside and drink and listen to music and
4 hours in the
4 hours in the sun, and
Yeah.
and also like just the pure feeling of a well-struck golf shot.
It's better than heroin.
Dude,
I'll tell you from personal experience, it's better.
okay, good.
It's the best.
I'll
dude.
take your word for it.
It literally is better than any drug. It really is. It's really close to sex to me. You know what I mean? Like that feeling of like that reward center. And this is like, you know,
Well, you know,
you hit that shot and it's like,
I mean, you know, I tell a joke. There are only 3 things in this world that can be absolutely terrible and still be great.
yeah,
It's pizza, golf, and sex.
that's literally 100%. I've only had 1 or 2 pizzas in my many pizzas where I hated it. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, that is true.
But yeah, there's just something about it, and like people, if you don't do it, I mean, like people are like, oh, what are you doing? I'm golfing. Like, you know, like,
they don't get it. Yeah.
They just don't get it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I always joke, it's like the one thing, you know, that if you take time off of work or you skip out of work early or you try to, you know, get away for a little bit or if you don't make plans on a weekend because you're playing golf or that sort of thing, like, dude, it's like the one thing that people will get upset about. Like, oh, I'm doing yard work, or oh, I'm going to be reading, you know, catching up on my Shakespeare this weekend. Like, nobody cares. But if you play golf too much, then all of a sudden it's a problem.
Yeah.
And it's
that's so funny.
maybe it's a problem, but I don't really care.
I could be doing worse.
Yeah.
I could be doing worse.
Yeah.
And the thing is I've seen it humble a lot of people that are even athletes, and it's like, you know, you're bringing them out there, and they're like, oh yeah, and it's like, I've been there. Like, especially learning that is very, very frustrating.
Yeah. Like, oh,
when you're like, dude, I just don't know how to do this.
Right.
Like, it's I don't know how they do it, and then you finally just figure it out.
Yeah. No, I mean, we played Shale Creek on Sunday. I got a birdie 1 hole. I got a 9 the next hole.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like, I'm not one to put a high number up on a card like that. Most of the time, if I break 6, my goal on the card is to never break 6.
Yeah. That's a good goal.
And yeah, I mean, I say golf more. It's just like a lot of sports, but speaking about wrestling, you're out there, you're on your own. It is the most. It replicates life in so many ways.
Yeah.
Is that you can get up every day, you can play the same golf course again and again and again and again. It will never be the same.
Ever.
Every day will be different. Every shot you take will be different. Every choice you take will be different.
and it shows true character.
Yeah.
When you get somebody out there and they hit a bad shot and they're like, I've had these days, but you've just been out of shape and you can't regroup mentally, and then everything will just start falling downhill. Like you have to just wipe the slate clean, get up. It's just like life, and just try it again. Every new hole, every new shot, it's a new chance. Just get up and get it. Because I've seen it crush people. It's almost crushed me before. I would be a liar if I said that I have not shed a tear on the golf course out of frustration. I mean, that's how competitive I am. I have definitely cried because I've played really bad.
Right.
I'm sick. I just can't help myself.
I've cried. I've never cried because I was angry, but like younger, when I was younger, I don't have this problem anymore now because I think I'm matured. But I mean, like there would be, a season, I'm 18, 19, 20, 24. I would just play until I got so angry at my game that I'm like, I'm just done for the year.
Yeah.
Is the season gonna end in July? Is it gonna end in August?
Whenever,
Is it gonna end in October?
That's
I don't
funny.
know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna say I cried. We went up to Michigan on a golf trip. It was the first golf trip I was able to go on because like our golf league and some other adjacent guys. We went up to northern Michigan, over like Traverse City or whatever.
Nice. Yeah. Very nice.
Shout out to Mark Douglas. Dude, I was just on this tee box and we're like overlooking the lake and it's like so picturesque, and I was just like, dude, like I
overcome with gratitude.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better. It's like I am so blessed to be here. There are so many people, going through a terrible thing right now, and I get to be on this golf course overlooking this. Like, this is like in, this naturescape is like painted by God's paintbrush, and I get to stand on it and play a stupid game like golf.
Yeah, and it's so hard to describe that beauty like it is. Like it's just, you just get caught in those moments in golfing at a new course, especially. I just love going to play new courses, especially new landscapes like that, by water and everything, and it's just like, this is what we're doing right now. Like, damn, we're lucky. This is so cool.
Yeah.
And then I go hit a shit shot and I'm back to reality.
Yeah.
Or I hit a great shot.
Yeah. I'm like, I was at this course, I'm like, I don't care if I shoot 140 today. I'm gonna. This is fucking awesome.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. The second time is when I saw Mark hit his first hole-in-one. Oh, he came to a outing with me, and it's like,
I've never seen one.
I kind of saw it, kind of didn't, but we were an outing. It was at Sable Creek down Hartville, and it was for Tyler's Redemption Place. It was that outing, and it's a shotgun start, and we go out to this par 3. It's like playing like 155. It's over a pond. It's downhill. It's still hazy, so we can't really see anything. And he gets up, cold shot, first hit, like first swing of the golf club that day. And then we go up there and I'm like, dude, it was a shitty shot. He plays a hook, but this one was pretty nasty. It looked like it was gonna hit almost the ground right after the water stopped. And then just kind of saw it. I'm like, it's kind of going towards the hole. I can't really tell. Everybody hits. We go down there, and all of it, we all thought it hit the front of the green or like the apron, and then rolled off the back. And we're looking around, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna start making my way towards the hole and keep getting here. And then I look down in there. I go, Mark, man, it's fucking in the hole, dude. And
That's
he's
so
like,
cool.
No, unbelievable. And then I've got a great picture of it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Is he a pretty good golfer? Pretty looking.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Yeah. Because it's some of those guys that they're normal golfers and they go out and hit a hole in one.
Right.
Multiple.
Yeah. I mean,
amazing.
If you hit the ball straight, like Mo Norman wasn't like a super great professional golfer, but he was a professional golfer. I think he's got like more holes in one than anybody.
Because he could hit the ball straight.
Just dead straight.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, obviously we've been talking about golf for like 15 minutes.
So do you play anything else still other than golf right now?
No, I mean,
I know people are playing pickleball and stuff like that. Yeah.
Dude, I really need to start working out again.
Yeah.
And like it's gotten to a point where I'm starting to feel parts of my body starting to like fail.
Yeah, man. It's crazy that you just turned 35 one day and you're just like, why does my knee hurt for no reason?
Yeah, like I've got plantar fasciitis for sure.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
But like it got to a point where I think it's fine now, but instead of just like being your feet are tight when I get up out of bed, like I think I tore something.
Yeah.
And like for like a month I had a hard time.
Yeah.
My fat piece of shit ass has gout.
Oh, nice. The King's disease.
The King's disease. It's because I eat like a fucking French chef, but
gout, no doubt.
Yeah, but I'm like, seriously? And all it is just you're unhealthy. The King's disease.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know like totally about it.
No, but it's like there's a particular chemical that creates this buildup of shit on your big toe and your middle toe, and like I can feel it coming on, like, and I'm like, dude, I just gotta get better than this.
Yeah. It's worth it, man. I mean, that's you brought up Tyler's Redemption Place. So shout out to them. Travis and Shelly Bornstein, Hope United, I think is technically like the group. I started going to a morning meeting, just like a men's betterment meeting over there on Wednesdays. Travis has been just a beacon of light in my life, and that got me moving. He's got a gym in there, and I'm with some guys. They've been lifting like years. Like there's some big boys, and I'm not. Like I haven't dedicated, years of my life to lifting or whatever, but I've always tried to be active and everything. So I'm kind of back in the gym on Wednesday mornings, which is so nice. So it's just I'm back. Good. That gets me up and started, and then I started running a little bit more now. I just ran 2 miles this morning with the baby in the cart. It's a slow start for me usually. But yeah, man, it's just my body feels better when I move.
Yeah, and I think there's something therapeutic about physical activity.
Yes.
I mean, granted, golf is, people are like, oh yeah, you golf. And I'm like, yeah, but I drink beers and smoke cigars while I'm playing golf. It's not exactly a healthy thing. So
see, and I realized, and that is big in the golf culture, but like, I'm so competitive that like, I cannot partake in that if I want to be good. You know what I mean? Like, I play best when I drink water and take care of myself and get sleep. Like, what do you know?
Yeah, shocker.
yeah, shocker.
But yeah, I do want to get into it. If I really wanted to, like, I'd love to do like boxing training. But
they got that place 9 Round, I think.
I saw that
local. Yeah,
it's like in Fairlawn Town Center.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. But they do like kickboxing
it
training and cardio stuff like that, which is really cool. It's just anything to get up and moving.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tyler's Redemption Place, I on Wednesdays go to that meeting, and he's nice enough, and he's just the best guy ever. I just am so lucky to meet so many good people in my life, you included, everybody. But he's got a sauna and cold plunge there as well.
Okay, great.
So I sauna and plunge there. I he could be like one of these plunge people, but like it's got me, dude. It's got me. It's like one of the best things I've ever done, because main reason it's hard because I don't want to do it. I do not want to get my hot body into a tub of 50 degree, 48 degree water at all. Like I've never liked cold water. I don't swim in cold pools or whatever, but like just the fact of doing that, and maybe they're in there. I know there is like physical, good stuff that happens, but like it's just the common part of that it's hard, and that I do it without wanting to do it, and I get through it, and I survive it, and I'm out of there. And it's just like a great reset to my day, because it's like, dude, I just did that. Like, I'm not really worried about anything else. Like, I'm not really worried about a tough conversation.
Yeah.
At least for a few hours, you
Right.
know? So it's been really cool to experience that. It's made me want to, like, actually figure out, making a cold, I know a lot of people do it now, but making a cold plunge at the house. We need more space. We're going through a renovation right now, but, one day, perfect scenario, I'd love to have that stuff at the house. It'd be great.
Yeah. Dude, there's just something exhilarating cold, like getting in cold water. I think it wakes up your,
It reminds you you're alive.
Your venous system, all that shit.
Yes, it definitely reminds you you're alive.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And, yeah, I need to do that, dude. Because I mean, like I would say, I test my mind every day, and I felt like for a long time I was like, I'm exhausted at the end of the day because I really test my mind.
Yeah.
Day in and day out.
Yeah. You're on a different.
But that's not. But the thing is, though, is that
It's not the same.
It's not. It's not the same. But I mean, but the thing is, though, is that I'm like I'm exhausted because of that. But now I'm like I'm exhausted because I'm out of shape.
Right. And the thing is like physical shape will actually make that stuff probably more easy to deal
Right.
with. Whether the mental exhaustion of like
Right.
I'm mentally exhausted, but I actually feel physically well at the end of the day.
Right.
Like it's probably much better.
Oh yeah, no,
And
1000%.
And so that's what you're in, right? You're in law.
Yeah.
Like that's what you do.
So I'm in the courtroom. I'm dealing with, tough cases. So like, and I don't know, like we kind of talked about it, but like, yeah, I represent children's services.
Okay.
So I work for the prosecutor's office, but
Yes.
my cases always have to, typically 95% of the time, deal with we're removing children from their parents because the parents are going through some stuff.
Yeah, it's a tough situation.
So that's tough.
Yeah.
And like, I can take on, secondary trauma and all that stuff. And like, it is exhausting. I was like, I'm not trying to put pity on myself. I always say, if these kids can go through this stuff, I can deal with talking about it.
Yes. Yeah. But it still is, I'm sure, to see that and like, it's not easy. You know what I mean? Whether it's like, and that is your main goal, I'm sure, is to protect the children. Right?
Yeah.
Like you're protecting the children, you're working on behalf of Children's Services. I have my own personal, experience with addiction and everything like that, and we can get into that. But, I've met a lot of people, mothers, fathers, that have dealt with that through their addiction, losing the kids and everything. Know some great people that are foster parents, which is so cool.
Such a noble thing to do.
It's so cool, man.
Yeah.
Like these parents take on these kids while their parents are getting better, and trying to straighten their lives out. Maybe some of them don't. Maybe some of them do. And you grow a relationship with these people and these kids, and then you gotta give them away and hope that it's like, I know they were safe at my house, but hopefully they're going to be safe with their parents again.
Yeah.
It's a tough experience, I'm sure, and especially I can only imagine working in the courtroom like that.
Yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, I mean, like everybody's doing their job for in terms of serving justice and serving all that. I always want the kids to go home. I think some people are like, how could you ever like want them to go home if they came from that, like, because they're getting better and
and if the parents can get better, like that's the point. That's
right.
And that is the hard thing too, is and we talked about this before leading up, but like the judgmental part of, and it's a hard part in a gray area of recovery and addiction, because it's like, I can speak from my personal experience, right? So I was in a wheelchair in high school. That was my first experience with painkillers. I'm 14 years old, 88 pounds. Here's 90 Percocets. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you think might happen? Because I don't know that they're addicted at that point. You know what I mean? So like, things happen to where we are not even like ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As parents, or whether I was in that position or it's like, if they can get better, like I'm sure they want to be better.
Right.
It's not just like they did one thing shitty, they're shitty. That's not the case. A lot of people can redeem themselves.
Right. I mean, dude, I see a lot of great stories. See some unfortunate stories.
That's true. I'm sure you can see the success
But I mean,
stories
like,
too.
yeah, but I mean, you can see, parents, they might come into court the very first time, and we've removed their children, and then 3 months later, sometimes they'll come into court, and I'm like, is that mom?
Right.
She looks incredible.
Yeah,
like she looks
cool.
like a completely different person.
It's very cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the goal. I'm not blowing smoke. My least favorite thing is when kids don't get to go home.
Mm-hmm.
But
sure.
If they don't get to go home, hoping that they're gonna be with someone that we can trust and
Yeah.
love them and all that stuff. Hopefully, it's someone that knows mom and dad to where they can still facilitate a relationship.
Yeah, family member. And that's usually what you see too a lot is a family member
Yeah.
or aunt or uncle or grandparents. A lot take
Yeah.
on the front of it. Yeah, man. And I'm lucky. You know, I have the chance today. My kids are 8 and 2. You know, if I never go back down that road, I won't ever have to deal with that. And
Yeah.
I'm very lucky for that. You know, like I said, I was introduced to painkillers, and that's kind of the route that I went down too.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I was lucky that I didn't have children at that time, because if I did, they would have got taken. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my own life was taken without me even knowing it. You know.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how that started with me, was high school, with getting painkillers like that. Finding out that, hey, people that party in high school like these too, and I was like selling them and everything in high school. Just, you know, you have no idea what you're doing at 14, 15 years old. Just making the poorest decisions
Your
ever.
brain's, especially male brain, isn't done developing in your late 20s.
I'm still developing. I stunted my growth with all the chemicals, but you know, and I get into that, and you know, I went through that in high school, and there was no physical dependence after that though, because I remember that those running out, healing, I'm walking again, I'm wrestling again, you know, I got a 12-inch titanium rod in my femur, 2 screws, but that was my first like introduction with, oh, these make me feel a certain type of way. This is pretty cool. And then making it through high school, you know, we mentioned it, drinking. I mean, just drinking, smoking a lot of weed. Those were the things in high school. Never really got into hard stuff in high school other than, you know, prescription pills.
And I felt like we might have been on the kind of the back end. I'd like to think that kind of culture is kind of going by the wayside.
I'm hoping it seems like it's dying out. It seems like the younger generation is not really interested even in alcohol like we were.
Right.
I hope.
No.
You know, there's still obviously going to be people, but
I mean, the huge thing is like vapes, and whether it's the nicotine vapes or it's the THC vapes. I mean, like I don't think kids really smoke a lot of like flower anymore.
which is scary because this is totally unfounded on anything but facts.
Yeah.
But I bet that it's not good. I bet that it's not as bad to smoke flower and smoke marijuana and stuff, and even tobacco and everything, than vaporized, liquid, heated, just constantly in your lungs. It's too easy to smoke too. Like I smoke it in a building, and people are like, "Oh, it smells like lilacs and daisies." Like I don't mind it blowing in my face.
Right.
You know, like,
people don't have to go outside and for 5-10 minutes.
Nope.
And have a cigarette, or, you know, in like, dude, the vapor. It's like, dude, you're stressing out. You know, basically the pockets that accept oxygen. Those can swell. That's pneumonia, dude. I mean, like you are
putting vapor into your lungs.
Right.
Not even just smoke, but actual liquid.
Whenever someone, it seems like they have like a vapor-related injury, I don't know, or health condition, dude, it's always like their lungs are so swollen up with shit.
That's scary.
Yeah, and basically it's like their lungs can't take in oxygen because they're so fucking swollen.
So my personal experience with those is that's what I mentioned. I quit smoking cigarettes when
Yeah.
I met Hillary, so I switched to a vape.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I just to do something.
Yeah.
So I switched to a vape. I'm vaping. It's much tastier. I buy this whatever $60 vape. It breaks. I buy another vape and I'm filling it with juice and everything, and it breaks. And I'm like, I'm not going to keep doing this.
Yeah.
And people are now moving on to those huge ones. They're glowing.
Dude, they look like a fucking walkie-talkie.
Dude, you're walking around with literally a walkie-talkie in your pocket. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. If this vape breaks again, like, I'm done. I'm fucking done. And that was very hard to quit because the vape broke. I remember I was staying at Briding's apartment. They were renting that apartment out to me. I was working for them. Shout out to them. Shout out to In the Garden. Chris and Ryan, Michael, the whole family. They're just
Yeah.
great people. But I remember laying in bed at night, and it was so hard to quit. And I've quit many different addictive things in my life, or at least got a reprieve from them, and just the ease of just laying in bed and, like I said, and smoking it is very hard. But that was like, it showed me that how addicting that is. You get on that early as a kid and you form that addiction. I'm sure people are going to be vaping now, which we never had, but for long-term periods, and that's really going to show us what this is like. Yeah. So
you talk about, I mean, like, dude, and we know people who, we're getting back to the opiates, Percocets, and all that stuff. I mean, like, to be honest, dude, that's normally the story.
yes,
right? And the thing is, I mean, we unfortunately know someone who isn't with us anymore.
Many people.
And
now it's like many people.
Where it's, I got injured, I got a prescription, and there's more and more coming out that we know that it was absolutely having for me. They knew it, but they didn't say it at the time. But then these people, their script runs out, and they start looking for it somewhere else.
Oh, I can't find you these, but I can find you this. It's typically the same thing, and that was my personal experience with it too, right? So I was hooked on. I got out of high school, so I graduated in 08. You graduated 2007.
Yeah.
It was pretty on fire then.
Yeah.
Like the pharmaceuticals and all that
The
stuff.
pill mills were still up and running.
I took the obligatory, let me take a year break. Don't recommend that to anybody coming out of high school. If you're gonna go to college, like, just keep the grind. It's not meant to be easy. It's meant to be worth it. So I took the year off break. It was really just to party and be lazy. As I've gotten older, I've realized a lot of my mistakes and stuff and misfortunes come from avoidance. Like just avoiding it.
Yeah.
I got bills in the mail. Just don't open. I got a text or just don't.
You know what they say? Procrastination's like masturbation, and in the end, all you're doing is fucking yourself.
You ain't kidding, and end up fucking yourself. And I went to Akron U after that, so 2009-ish, 2010, started going to Akron U after that year. And that's really where I was introduced to them too. On campus, people had them, and that was like, oh yeah, I did these Percocets before when I was in high school, and just for some reason, that's when it was like doing them habitually, feeling good. I mean, just snorting so much Tylenol, probably.
With like T3s?
Yeah, they're just like big 5 milligram. They're
Yeah.
mostly Tylenol, but we don't really understand that.
Yeah.
And you're
Oh,
just
yeah,
like,
I get what you're saying.
just breaking up a Percocet that's mostly Tylenol and a little bit of like oxycodone or whatever. But it's lucky I have a liver.
Yeah.
And that's when like that actually started. It was probably 2010, 2011. I remember a friend of mine asked me, "You don't feel like shit without them?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, he's like, "You don't." And I just like overnight had withdrawal, and like I remember it like that. And whether that's how it actually happened in reality, I just remember like, God, I didn't do anything like for hours or whatever, maybe the day, and I'm like, God, I don't feel that well. Find some, very easy at that time. Do one, oh, I feel great. I feel fine now. I don't feel, it's like a bad flu or whatever.
Did you feel back up to like the original high, or did you just feel fine?
At the beginning, like, oh, I feel high again, which is great. You feel better than fine, and then that progresses and just progresses, right? Those pills and everything, they did away with that, and like you said, I remember the time that I was introduced to heroin. Gave somebody money, hey, can you please give me some pills? Yeah, for sure. They come back with this brown powder. I'm like, what the hell is that? They're like, dude, it's this, like, it's opiate powder. It's the same thing pretty much. It'll do the same thing. It's like,
opiate powder. That's
opiate
Jesus
powder.
Christ.
Yeah. So you do a little tiny bit of it, and it's like,
lying.
whoa, it does work. Way better. And at first, way less. I'd have to do way less. This is going to save me so much money. This is the economical way. And that's just that's where it turns, at least for me, that's where it turned to where like it overtook my life. that feeling, and I've heard it described as before, but it is like getting the best, most comfortable hug from God, and nothing else matters in that moment. And through that journey of like addiction and everything, and it's like, hey, why do we use? I remember being younger and like going to school dances, and I loved school dances when I was in middle school. No alcohol, no nothing involved. Like I just loved the party. I loved it, hanging with the girls, date, everything. And when it was over, and I was home, it was like the worst, most empty feeling ever. I just like didn't want the party to stop, and I'm like, I remember being at home in my bedroom, my parents' house. Everything's good. Just had a great night, but I'm just like, oh my God, I just feel this like hole in my soul. Like I just, why can't I can't that go on more and more? And that I didn't realize once I found the drugs and stuff like that, it filled that void. I didn't really.
You couldn't keep going on.
Well, I didn't care. I didn't care even to be in the party. I'm not missing out on anything, so I was always with people, needed to be with people, partying. But once I found the drugs, I turned into a loner. Actually, I like became a recluse because I'm like, oh, I got what I need. The void is filled.
I get it.
It's like the void's filled, and then you start avoiding people. I'm alone. I don't need anything. I thought that was like, I remember driving in my car years into this addiction. I've already crossed over to using a needle, and I'm taking it heavy, and I remember driving, and I'm like, this is it. Like, I cannot believe this is where this has taken me. I had fully accepted it, and I was like, damn, this is how I die. Like, this is how my story is written. I cannot believe that. It was just amazing to me. And when I first, and that was like 2014, it was like 2014 or so, because I remember the first time I had like, these young kids are guardian angels in my life. My kids, obviously, my nephew was the first guardian angel in my life. Cruz, he would never remember it. He was like 5 maybe, and I was over at my parents' house in active addiction, just kind of a mess, and he's like, why do you always act happy when you're not? Or said something along the lines of like, you act happy, but you're not. And I was just like, fuck did he just say to me?
Yeah.
Like, did he just fucking call me out on my whole entire existence? Because that wasn't, I'd be over there like kind of hanging, but he probably, as a kid, you're so connected with the truth and just like, you're not watered down and you don't hide from anything yet. So he probably saw the dark cloud around me and was just like, that's how he put it out.
Kids are empaths.
That was my catalyst to like reach out for my first type of help. And I remember I was driving home from scoring or whatever. I had like 1% left on my battery, and I'm like almost to my parents' exit in Norton, and a commercial comes on the radio about like, do you need help? Are you struggling with your addiction? And I'm just like, yeah, me. And I wrote down the numbers, like a 77, whatever, and just wrote the number down. I get to my parents, and they had pretty much known, parents know when there's something up with their kid. But I made people walk on eggshells. Don't talk. Don't leave me alone, just to try to avoid it and everything. But I remember kind of coming open to my parents that they already knew, obviously. They just didn't know exactly what was going on. And I had that number, and I charged my phone up and called the number, and it ended up being a place in Florida. And that's the first time I like actually experienced some kind of rehab, and actually I'm out.
And that's when you went there, right?
Yeah, first rehab of the couple I've been to. That was like the start of my journey of, there's another way of life. Like there's people that actually care about me that I haven't met yet.
Because I can legit remember that where, there was a period of time, I don't know, a couple of years there where, we weren't, you've got your families and stuff, like obviously we have our own lives and stuff like that, but it was like kind of like where we're still young enough that we're still hanging out regularly, and you just, and like friend groups drift apart and stuff like that.
Yes, for sure. I was gone.
But you were gone, and like, I'm not, I've been part of the party scene. I've never graduated to that.
Yeah, it's good.
Obviously, I don't mean anything by that.
No, you're good.
But like, yeah, and like friend groups drift apart, but I kept kind of seeing where you were kind of drifting more and more and more and more, and sometimes you might post something on Facebook or something that was like sketchy.
I would post some twacked shit on Snapchat a lot. Like, I don't even know if we were friends on Snapchat.
No,
Thank God. I mean, I'm sure some people remember. Like, I was so out of touch with reality, and I had made music at that time, and that, I started making music, and that was before even, like, I was really twacked. It was still partying when I was making music,
Yeah.
In the rap scene, everybody wants to be a rapper, now everybody's a realtor. And that, I would, like, promote music, I'm, like, twacked out of my mind.
Yeah.
But that was kind of by design, too, that I started drifting, because I knew that I was twacked. I knew I wasn't fooling anybody, so I would, like, remain really distant.
I mean, did you feel like you're the cat that's gonna go lay by the furnace and die? I mean,
not at that point, but eventually I got there. Yeah, eventually it was like, I just don't even want to keep doing this, and that's the catalyst of like what got me into Florida that first time as well.
And I do, so that's the thing. Is it? I remember, kind of twack shit. I'll steal your word. It's on Facebook, and then all of a sudden you're in Florida, and I see you down there, and like you look better, and I'm like,
right, good some life to me.
I'm like, whatever. I'm like, I don't know exactly what's going on. Like, and I like, dude. I mean, like, I was, would always want to be there for you, but I also don't want to pry.
Yeah, for sure.
Sort of thing.
It's a weird thing. What we don't realize, what we do to the people that love us, is we make them uncomfortable, like not even meaning to, because it's like they don't want to offend us, because most of us get really defensive and we feel attacked anyway when somebody's like, hey, are you okay? And it's like, fuck you, are you okay? I'm okay, I'm fine. And a lot of us get very defensive, and so.
But yeah, I was just happy to see that you were
getting some life back.
You were not around whatever was around, but yeah.
I called it my playground of misery, like in Akron, especially when I was like in the heat of it. So that was why, one of the reasons. So I went to this place, Transformations Treatment Center. It actually just closed. It's been open since then. So 10, 11, almost 12 years since then. But it just closed, I think, this year. I just saw like updates and stuff because I still kind of try to keep in contact with them.
Great.
But that was the first time. Then I went down to Transformations Treatment Center, and that was like my first introduction of like, oh, I'm going to go to treatment. I'm going to stay in this like, it was decked out. It's like a condo, where you got a roommate, there's a pool in the backyard and stuff. It was fancy rehab. It was like, you're lucky to be here, kid. Hope you know it.
No, that doesn't sound like the rehab that most of my parents have.
Exactly. No. And I've been to some of those too. But so that was a cool experience too. AA is founded in Akron. I didn't even know that at the time. I go down to Boynton Beach, Florida, Delray Beach, Florida. Hey, where are you from? I'm from Philly. A lot of people from Philly.
I can imagine.
They got a tough area.
Yeah.
A lot of people from Jersey. A lot of people from Jersey.
Right across the way from Philly.
Yeah, and then it's like, hey, I'm from Akron. Oh my gosh, you're from Akron? Oh, how's the AA up there? And I'm like, shit, I don't know. And I was maybe go to my first AA meeting when I was like 15, when I got in trouble in high school. And I didn't even know what the hell it was. But that was my first introduction to that, like 12-step programs and even just that culture and those type of people. And it was just one of the coolest things ever. I met some of the best people in Florida. I went to this halfway house called Arches to Freedom, and they're still around, still doing great work working with guys. But that was like when I'm like, oh, I'm not, I'm special, but I'm not unique. Like, there's a lot of people going through this struggle, and I don't have to be mad at the world and think, oh, it's only me, why me? Like that's not how it is. So it was really cool to experience that and just see that there is another way to life. I didn't turn it around totally right then. I still had some bumps and bruises to get from there, but that was cool. is at least my first experience, with some kind of recovery or anything like that. So, yeah.
But dude, it's a road.
Yes.
Roads have speed bumps. Roads have potholes.
Yeah. And it's a learning experience of like, hey, this works for me, this works for you. I mean, me and you talked about it. Everybody's got their own thing of what they think works. There's California sober. There's totally strict, staunch sober, which is probably the best route for everybody.
Yeah.
But there's medicated assisted treatment, that works for people. It is not cookie cutter. There's too many people with way too many different things, individually, and too many personalities for everything to work for everybody, or one thing to work for everybody. So,
I mean, and I was, when it comes to, mental health and that sort of thing, dude, it's the chicken or the egg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Is it what set me off? I mean, if someone has a chemical imbalance, it makes them have an addictive personality, or certain fixations or certain whatever.
It's like, was it the chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? They both taste good.
Right.
But
I was like, what happened first?
Yep.
Was it mental health or drugs?
Right.
Or what? And
I remember that place asking me a question, and I didn't know the answer at that time, and it was like, why did you use? Like, why did you party? Like, and I just was like, because it was fun. Like, it felt good. But that's when I you start learning about yourself and doing that soul searching, and I realized it was avoidance. It was avoidance of growing up and taking on responsibilities and just being a normal contributing part of society. Getting a job or just, it's not even that simple, but just pursuing something, finding something that's worth losing, whether it is a family or it is a job or whatever. I didn't want to take that leap at first, so I just kept avoiding it with numbing myself from the reality, drugs. I don't have to be responsible for anything when I'm strung out, right? It's that's what I'm responsible for. Nobody expects anything from me when I'm strung out, and I didn't really realize that I got myself in that cycle, but eventually it's all individual. The pain just gets too great. The pain just outweighs the reward of the using and the running and it's so tiring to live that life. Pick your poison, it's all the same.
It doesn't
Alcohol,
matter. Gambling,
it's all sex,
nicotine, sex.
it's all the same.
Yeah,
it's we deal with it at different levels. Some of us let stuff get away,
Yeah.
Some people, I've done stuff with some people where they're wasn't for me, and I'm just that's it.
Yeah.
You're just gonna try it, and that's I know that I had a physical allergic reaction to it. Put that in my body. I don't have a say. I don't have a say. I always used to convince myself that I could just do it once. Even after a while, I'm off of it for a year. I can just do it once though. I'm far enough away. I've never done anything once. I've never done anything that I like a lot one time. That's hitting one good golf shot and just hanging it up. I'm back out. I'm gonna beat the hell out of myself. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make this hard on myself.
Yeah. I mean, if you hit the one golf shot, why the fuck would you stop?
Exactly. You wouldn't. You would keep on chasing that and going for that. Yeah. Exactly. So that's just how it goes.
Man. So obviously you talked about what's up, Chris House. What's up? It's a roommate.
Fuzzy Mouse House, right?
He's being nice. Anyways, so I guess how'd you climb out of the hole, Batman?
Yeah, so transitioning from that. I mean, and mine was a long road. And maybe people don't know. A lot of people know, and that's one thing too. It's hard because it's I don't want people to judge me or whatever. But my story is my story at the end of the day. I think I'm a pretty good person, right? I think I'm
fantastic.
Thank you. I think I'm, I know that I put myself, and I didn't I went through this. I put myself through shit. You know what I mean? Just terrible decisions, very hard things, and it's and it's not to get pity, but I've put myself through these very difficult situations to where I've been able to learn good perspective. And even just having this conversation right now reminds me of that. And like, because I need that, because sometimes I forget. But, you know, I have multiple overdoses, multiple rehabs. Like, that's not the only rehab. You know, I left that rehab, had to come home for my golf clubs in 2015. I need to come home for my car and my golf clubs. The owner of the halfway house in Florida's like, dude, no, you don't. Just stick down here.
Yeah.
I gotta come home for my car.
They got a lot of good golf shops down in Florida.
Really nice. I gotta come home. It's sand. It's a little different, but it's nice. I gotta come home, and I came home and immediately overdosed. First overdose, and I remember Dan Stone was like in town, and he came to the hospital with my parents. I think I was like hanging out with him that day. I came home and I lied to myself and was like, I'm just gonna get high one time. Well, I almost killed myself. Yeah, and I guess I like folded over and must have pinched my sciatic nerve, and I woke up paralyzed from the waist down, and I couldn't hear. It cut my hearing out. That was like, you know, that's, I said, my first overdose. Unfortunately, not my only. And that's the insanity of it too, because like I said, that was just my first. Like that happened to me. I remember getting yoked up by the paramedics. When you come back from like an overdose, it felt like I was returning from hell. Like it was just the worst journey. Body's on fire. You're just like, you know, I don't know what's going on. You just like wake up. I can't hear anything, and I'm in the back of an ambulance. First, I remember being in my parents' house, and they were holding me up, and it just like hurt. My legs hurt. Something hurt, but I didn't know what. And I'm screaming, "Ow!" But I can't hear myself. So they start writing on a dry erase board, like, "Can you do this? Can you?" And I'm just like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. And I get to the hospital. And they're like, hey, we're more worried about your hearing than your legs. And I'm like, fuck you. Like, I want to walk. I can be deaf. You know, I'm just out of it. You know, I'm really not combative, but I'm just say not in the best of moods when that happens. Right. You know, and they're like, we're worried about your brain, obviously. You know, your hearing doesn't work. We're worried about your brain, something happening with your brain. Mm-hmm. And luckily, like, you know, weeks go by, and I was using then too. Like I had to stay at my parents for a few weeks before I went back to Florida. I got drop foot. I'm dragging myself out of the house, and I'm going to use. You know, I'm trying to stay clean, but I'm still using. Like that's the insanity of it.
I mean, at that point, did you think it was rock bottom, or like you're like I'm never fucking doing that again?
Well, no,
until tomorrow.
Until tomorrow, like you know, until the same shit that put me in here, I have a little bit left over at the house. Like that's the insanity of it too. You know, and we think like I'll just do a little bit less or whatever. Yeah. And that's how I know, and that's why. And this is again a good reminder of like not judging people, because I know what it did to me. Right? Like it made me make the poorest decisions like that, and it just overtakes you.
So if someone's in the throes of that, how can you? I mean, not blame them for making a poor decision.
It's hardly them. Like it's they hardly have control. And I get the arguments of people of like they decided to do this, like they chose drugs over their kids because like maybe that first initial hit, like they did, you know. And maybe they continue to, but it's like it's not as cut and dry as that. Like it's there's a little bit of gray area in it. It is a you know, they classify it as a disease, but it's a total mental shift and change. Like it's like a brainwashing, you know. I became a different person. So obviously go through that. I go to Florida. I have some decent like sobriety, meet great people that I still consider my friends.
And this is the second time in Florida.
Yeah, so I go back to Florida. Like a couple weeks after that overdose, I finally I'm using a cane, I think, on my way back to Florida. I drive my car.
I remember that shit.
My mom rode back with me because, you know, she just wanted to not have me drive who knows where. My kid just overdosed. Now she's going to go back to Florida, so God bless her. She got in the car with me. And when I was in Florida, actually, she broke her hip. So she was like healing from a broken hip at that time.
Before she went down.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, before she rode in my Saturn with me all the way to Florida in the passenger seat. You know, God bless her. Again, she's a road dog. And so I go down to Florida. She flies home. And I was there for, you know, a while actually, you know, 9 months, 10 months or whatever. And that was like, then I was really introduced into the 12-step programs, introduced into like, hey, there's people that care about you, that you're still meeting, like, there's a lot of life left to live. And that was like my first real seed of like, oh, there is another way of life. And I do actually want that. You know, it requires work though. Like you don't just get clean, at least me, I don't just get clean from, especially something that like, you know, opiates, that really was like my thing. Like that was the thing that I had no control over at all. And if you're not staying up with it on your drive home back from Florida that time, you might convince yourself to just get high one time, you know? And I think that's maybe what I did. And there was years of, you know, doing that, getting in trouble, being put on probation. Luckily, the Akron court system has absolutely saved my life. Judge Teodosio, absolutely saved my life. Like it's given me all the chances ever to. He's awesome.
Awesome, great.
You know.
I was gonna say I work for his, well, not for his wife. I work for, you know, actually she's the juvenile judge, so I'm there with her. And my dad's goes way back with him, so yeah.
Yes, and then I cannot believe her name's escaping me right now, but the other turning point judge after Teodosio.
Was it Judge Oldfield?
Oldfield, yeah. An absolute, literally saved me, you know. So this is, at that time I had.
So you did the Turning Point program?
Twice, yeah. They put me through it. Yeah, and it was awesome, dude. They really hold people accountable. I used to be upset and get like, you know, you're frustrated. Oh, they're making me do that. It's like these people saved my life.
Yeah.
Police officers, paramedics, firemen, they've saved my life multiple times, you know. So it's like these court systems saved my life. You know, I remember going through it, trying to get into another rehab, and I luckily got into one in Oldfield. I had dreads at the time, remember? I mean, dreads down to my back, how could you not forget? But it's kind of a sign, as you see it, my dreads were a sign of like, I didn't really take care of myself. I just stopped brushing my hair and stuff, and then they were dope. They became good, they became a part of myself, but like, they were such an attachment to that lifestyle for me.
Yeah.
That I was like, I gotta cut these things, dude. There's too much negative energy. You know, there's just so many memories and the lifestyle and you picture me, and it's like almost the junkie with the dreads, Ryan, you know, for me. So I remember I'm like trying to get out of jail, like I'm waiting for, you know, somebody again to save my life, and I don't know it, but I'm trying to like barter and get out of jail. And I remember I'm gonna shave my head, and Oldfield would probably let me out. There's the delusions in my like that matters at all to her. Mm-hmm. And I had a guy in there shave my head in the middle of Summit County Jail. Like I'm in everybody circles around, and they're like, "Holy shit, you're about to let him shave your dreads?" And the guy's shaving my head, and he's pulling it off into like one piece. It's all attached like a wig, because they're all so intertwined. Yeah. So he just kept shaving it and pulling it back, shaving it, pulling it back, and like literally just pulls it off my head.
You're a sheep.
Literally, just like shaving a sheep. And I smuggled, so I tried to like have those, and they're like, you can't keep those, it's paraphernalia.
Your hair?
I smuggled like 4 big locks out in my underwear out of Summit County Jail, because they were trying to throw it away, and I was like, all right, I'll throw it all away. And I kept like a big lock, like literally in my underwear, like on my taint probably, packed in my underwear. I remember I took them out and took them to rehab with me, you know. And that was one that like really actually, and I went to IBH luckily, and that was where like, you know, it was like, and Florida was too, but it was another time where it like really started to set in of like, okay, I can do this, you know. There is a totally another way of life, and I should do this. And it really is just for everybody. It's like a personal journey of when is it just not enough? Like when is it just, the pain is just too much, then whatever reward you're getting from the hustle and bustle and running and waiting and paying and scavenging and scheming people and stuff, everybody's on their own timeline. And I would look at older people, you know, 50s, 45, 60, just, hey, I'm 2 weeks sober, and I'm like, dude, we know how fast life goes. Yeah. I will end up like that. You know what I mean? I will be that. I have every opportunity to be that if I want to, and I don't want to. So it was just, eventually you just get tired. And it is a lot with stuff to lose. Friends, I started losing friends. It's like people didn't want to be around me. Family hardly wanted to be around me. You think I'm gonna ever date? Think I'm gonna ever like be able to be a good partner like this at all? I put multiple partners through hell probably, and those women, I owe amends and I've made amends. We just don't realize what we do when we're in that. It's all me. It's all selfish. And one day, if we're lucky, we wake up. Because like you mentioned earlier, like we know people that haven't. They didn't get a chance. It's hard too. Is like going through that many times and as many overdoses I have. You do have like a survivor's guilt of like people that were.
Why me? Why not
people that were better than me, that I loved more than myself, didn't get that chance. Like it just is, but that's the point. Like when we are here, don't squander it. Don't squander the opportunity. You got good people, and that's what made a difference too. Is like getting involved with good people in that community, or even just your close friends, or back with your family and like the stuff that matters, which is human connection. We can't do anything alone, golf, but it's like, need somebody to
I'll
help
play golf
teach
by
me.
myself sometimes, but
No.
I'd rather do it with friends.
Yeah, it makes a difference. So really just seeing stuff like that evolve and the community evolve. I got a close friend of mine, Kenny Lambert, is just a dad from Akron.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. Like,
I'd love to have him on sometimes.
Dude, he would love to. I don't want to speak for him, but I think he would. He's great to spread the message, because him, like especially, even more than myself, is like a true testament of when you're truly dedicated to it and like you put God first, what God can do for you. This guy, he's amazing, man. Like me and Kenny were in the gutter together, like I saw Kenny in the same spots that I was, not doing well. And I didn't know, he's told me a story a couple times, like that I was doing good at the time and I was in the court system, and he was not doing good at all. And I saw him outside of the courts, and he was like, "What's up, dude?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm about to head to this meeting," or it's like doing something. And he just said, like, he saw the light in my eye, like the light starts coming back when you start clicking. And he's like, "Dude, that made a difference to me. Because I saw you doing well," and it was like, shit, like Stimac's doing well, like I can do well. And we don't realize that that's all it takes sometimes. It takes a conversation like this, or it takes a conversation of somebody on the street, of like, "Hey, I was struggling. I'm okay now.
Yeah.
There is a way."
But I mean, so, let's say somebody's listening to this,
It feels impossible. Like when you're in that, it feels absolutely impossible, especially because like just all of our thoughts and what we think about, how we speak about ourselves, it is everything. When I'm on the golf course, I'm like, I'm gonna hit this shot, I'm gonna make this 100. Hardly ever do, but like that's how I like think that I will perform best, right? If I'm positive, like this client's gonna get this offer. I got, it's a running joke with a really close mentor of mine, but he's like, "I'm the negative, I'll be negative and you can be positive." Like I was so negative in my past with my addiction and stuff that like I have to purposely make everything positive. So if you're stuck like that and you think it's impossible, like it is. It could be a day away.
So fine, even the smallest thing, think about it positively, and
it could be a day away.
Baby steps, and
it could be a friend of yours in high school that matters to you. It could be it's your own life first. That it does matter, because you could be in a position one day, whether it's a conversation that you help anything, like we all can help people, and that's the point of it too. It's human relationships, trying to be better. I always used to think about it when I was young. It's like either anybody I'm with, either we hold hands and we're moving forward, but if you're holding me back, like I have to let go.
Yeah.
And it's that too, like it can always get better, and it will get better. You know, it will. It feels like it won't, but it feels like it's impossible, but it always does. With time, with a little bit of effort, sometimes luck, you know, sometimes not. Like, anybody can change things around. You know, and then one day we're sitting and we're a real estate agent, you know, it's like, or we're working in the court system, like,
Yeah, and I want to get to that. So what do you think? Like, what was your baby steps to bigger, day? You know, what was that?
Yeah, so coming out of all that, obviously, you know, just not living right, making poor decisions and stuff, it's like, hey, what's the first thing? Okay, we either go to school or we get a job, or like, gotta be some kind of support yourself, contributing to society, you know? So picked up a bunch of different jobs. I landscaped for years with the Bridings, with other families, with other companies. I hardscaped, cut grass, worked at pizza shops, worked at restaurants, you know how it is.
Yeah.
You spent years at pens and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that's how we do.
Grinding, trying to like feel like most of the people you know either worked in a restaurant, you worked in a pizza shop, landscaping,
Hard labor.
Yep. You know, that sort of stuff.
Yep. And what's good about we went to school at a good school is we do know a lot of people that actually end up doing some cool stuff. Doctors, lawyers and stuff. And that's every high school. But so I go through the gauntlet of jobs, and like I said, I mean, I've waterproofed basements, luckily. Shout out to KT Waterproofing in Norton. Awesome people. They taught me how to do that, right? So I don't realize these things when you're in it, you know. And then I do concrete. Shout out to the Huber Concrete, Huber Trucking. My buddy Nick Nicely, he's no longer with us. Rest in peace, Nick. He got me a job doing concrete, right? So I got to learn concrete. Used to pour like front stoops, driveways, sidewalks, basements, and stuff. So in some trades, involved with that, picking heavy stuff up, putting it down, hardscaping and stuff. And then a few years ago, a buddy of mine, also somebody that, you know, his just been such a big inspiration and mentor in my life is Ryan Coy. He owns Pro Precise Property Inspections, him and his wife Laura Coy. He hit me up and was just like, hey, you know, I see your stuff on Facebook, like I love, you know, the positivity and just trying to, you know, just trying to like kind of invite God back in my life. It's just, you know, just a journey. We're trying to figure ourselves out. But I started trying to post, because you said, like, seen some twack shit that you posted in the past. You know, we always just post, all of us have embarrassing shit, but, you know, tried to, in the last 6-7 years, post, you know, that's a reflection upon ourselves. Our social media is, people see it. And he's like, hey, I like what you're doing. Like, I have this inspection company. I don't know if, and I was like in the transition of like about to get a job, hardscaping. The most money I ever made is like, whatever, 21, 22 bucks an hour. And I had never made that kind of money. I was making like 16, 18 at most. Yeah. And he offered me less, but just to train, you know, and I'm like, okay, I've never done anything like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've never had to get a certificate and go to school or anything. I'm like,
and you had to do that for the inspection stuff.
Talked to Hillary. We had just kind of started dating. We've been together like a year or two, and I'm like, I think I should try it. She's like, go for it. Like, if it doesn't work out, like, you can always do anything. Like, and it is. Like, I took that opportunity that I was very, very fortunate to get from them, and Ryan and Laura changed my life. I never knew or never thought I'd be in real estate, but he was the best person to learn from. You know, he's a Navy Seavey. Yeah. Learned construction. He's just always been a handy guy, and he's always been not afraid to just send it. Like, in any instance, the dude was a daredevil, and the dude's also just, he's ready to send it and learn by mistake and stuff.
Yeah, I remember Ryan. He worked at the grill at Ken's for a little bit before he signed up, and he was like shipping out for basic. Yeah, and that's when he stopped. But he was a great busser for me. He's a great guy. Yeah, and I think I knew that he knew you because you guys are cousins, right?
No, we just grew up in Norton together.
Okay, yeah, might as well be.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Even when we're working together, people always thought we were related. We were like brothers. And I'm like, yeah, and both of our names Ryan. Our parents fucked us like that. No, we're not brothers. But you know, so he hires me and they train me, and that was all. Dude, I love inspecting. It's really cool. It's a job, man. It's tough. Like, it's a lot. When when we do the job, like how we did it at that company, above and beyond, we understand the investment that people are going to make. Like we understand the gravity of buying a home. It's a lot. Like it's a big investment. It's the biggest investment I may make in my life. It probably will be the biggest investment I make in my life. So we treated it like that. He treated it like that. Trained me really well to where like I was confident walking into a building, commercial or residential, and I can give you a great idea of all your major systems in the house and the year of everything. It's just so cool. I would have never thought that I did learn that skill. So it takes a little bit of online classes and stuff like that, and then I'm always trying to do more, right? Excel. I'm never somebody that's like comfortable for too long of where I'm at. Unfortunately,
No, it's a good thing.
It's hard because it's like, can't you just be content? But I always am just like looking for more if I can be.
There's a fine line between content and complacent.
Yes, for sure. And I was speaking to some people. Shout out to Andy and Kelsey Wozniak. They were my real estate agent. They helped me and Hillary find our house.
Okay.
And I reached out to them and was like, hey, you guys have any idea how like I can maybe become a real estate agent? And Andy's like, yeah, you really want to, man? I'd be happy to sit with you. So I met with both of them a couple times. They kind of introduced me to, hey, this is how it is. This is the schooling you go to. And it was really similar to inspecting too, did classes and stuff. So got into online schooling. Took me a bit long. I was slacking, going slow through my training and through my classes and everything. I know Hillary was probably like, this guy better pass this exam. I always have done good studying in school and stuff, so I passed my exam on the first time, and I'm like, whoa, I'm a licensed real estate agent. Like, I have no idea what I'm about to do. And luckily, I went to school with Luke O'Neill.
Yeah, shout out Luke.
Shout out Luke. And I met Jim O'Neill, so I coached Jim's kid in soccer. It's kind of how I met him. We went to the same campground, Loyal Oak Lake Park in Norman.
Okay, great.
And so I'd always been in those circles with them, but we didn't do many inspections for them, like on that side. But I met with them, met with a couple people, and it was like, hey, you guys are right in my town. Like, I know Luke personally. Jim's a great guy. Like, Jim and Luke, two of my biggest mentors ever. Like, Jim's a great mentor to me. Luke has just been awesome in my life. So I joined the elite sales team, is what we are.
Okay.
We work for Real Brokerage. It's pretty much, have you heard Howard Hanna, Keller Williams?
But I've seen
a bunch of different
seen the real signs where it's
yeah. It's like
L7
weenie. L7 loser weenie. That's so funny. I send that in a text and people are like, how did you get that R like that and that L backwards? Like, I copy and paste.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm on the elite sales team. We work for Real Brokerage, and that became my entrance into real estate. I had a toe in real estate with inspecting, and I'm like, damn, I can be an agent. And I can be a damn good one, actually, with this experience. I didn't even realize it, but it's been
because I'm assuming not every real estate agent can walk into a house and be like, oh, like, especially if you are the buyer's agent and not selling. Well, I mean, on either side, you can, as a selling agent, you can walk and be like, hey, even before they come, like, you're gonna have to worry about this.
That's why I can't thank Ryan and Laura enough. With the inspection, with Pro Precise Property Inspections, because I would never have been in this position without them. Like, it was just the perfect stepping stone to doing great things in my life. It's just so cool how it worked out. And that's the thing also about, like, even just redemption and just life itself. Like, we just don't know. We don't know what 5 years has in store for us sometimes. Like, we gotta keep trudging, like, there's no surprise in giving up, right? Just like, you give up, it's like you're done. But like, keep trudging, man. You just don't know. You're gonna be surprised. You're gonna be surprised beyond your wildest dreams. Even like when they tell people, even when they get in recovery, like, oh, try to imagine what your life could be like. And in general, we just don't know. You know what I mean? Now I have this great experience as a home inspector, And now I'm able to help people when I walk into a house, like you said, and I go show a house for people. I actually know what I'm talking about, and I can confidently say that. Like, I'm not just guessing, you know. And if I don't know, I'm lucky enough to where I think I've built good relationships with people with integrity and honesty, to where I can call somebody and ask a question, you know. And I surround myself with people that want to be better, right? I play golf with people that are better than me because I want to be better. I surround myself with people that are really good in real estate because I want to be really good in real estate. If I was cutting grass, I'd be going to lawnmower conventions and surrounding myself with people and the mowers and stuff that cut the best grass. It's just kind of like, if I'm going to do something, I want to be good at it. I don't want to just be doing it. I want to be good at it. It's a blessing and a curse, because it's like with golf, keep going, like, I'm screwed, dude. I want to be better than I could probably ever be. So I get frustrated, but like,
until we shoot 18.
Exactly. I'm signed up, dude. I'm signed up. I'm in. I'm invested. So it's been great. I'm about a year and I not this last April, but the April before. So, you know, a year and 3 or 4 months in. First year, sold 24 houses, which is awesome. I don't really know the statistics, but I think there's statistics about some agents don't sell 5 in their first year. And I owe that 100% to the elite sales team, to Jim and Luke, to the process that they have and the systems that we have in place. Our transaction coordinator, Aaron, is just a beast. Like, we'd be screwed without him, and all my team members and stuff too. So I think I've sold, I don't know, 15 or 17 this year so far, which is so cool.
Yeah.
Like, and it's, you know, I got clients to where I'll show you 40 houses. Like, I don't want to sell you a house. I want to help you find your home. You know what I mean? The sale and stuff will come with that. Like, I don't focus on the pay. And maybe, you know, maybe that's wrong as of right now, but like, I know that stuff's going to come, right? So this early in this job, like,
I'm just kidding, but in this market, the money's gonna come.
The money's gonna come in this market. So it's like, if I can focus on helping people, like, and make a good decision and feel good about their decision, all that shit's gonna come. You know what I mean? Like, money. I've never had a good relationship with money ever. It doesn't matter how much money I make. I have none of it. I never had a good relationship with money, and I'm also trying to say that I am getting a better relationship with money. I'm speaking that into existence, because I am, and I can thank my you know, significant other for that. She's much better with money than me, but I can't focus on the money because I'll get stressed out. I've always had money anxiety and things like that, so I focus on the production. I focus on the actual task at hand, and all that stuff. Well, I know I'm sure hoping it comes. You know, and I know it will one day. So it's just been cool, man, to be involved in it and watch people buy their first home, their second home, sell their first home where they raise their kids and they got emotional attachments to. Like, it's cool, man. Our homes are very important to us.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, we spend all our time in our home. I always joke with people that they're like, oh, the bedroom's all right. And they're like, but you spend 8 hours in there. I'm like, yeah, but you're unconscious anyway, so it's not that important. But you know, it is, obviously. But yeah, it's been so cool, dude. It's been so cool to be in real estate. It's being a part of the community, kind of. You know, like, I'm in the community. I'm trying to help people get into this community or get into one. I travel, you know, pretty far.
But I mean, the thing is, though, is that you know people. So, but also, like, thinking about this network of not only through your, you know, the inspection stuff, but all of the hard labor and stuff that you've done. Yeah. So it's like, oh, I'm buying a house. So you can make a referral for landscaping, for concrete, for you know,
it's
roofing,
been so cool.
Like and that's, I guess that's got to bring or be way more beneficial to your clients, because like, it's not just like, oh yeah, we want to buy this house, but now we've got to call you know, waterproofing. Now we've got to call a landscaper. Now we've got to call a roofer or something, and you can be like, look, like, you know,
I've poured myself out to so many jobs. I know those people now. You know what I mean? I'm lucky enough to have all those jobs and meet those people.
Hey, I know this is this, you know, you like this house, but it's got some work to be done. But,
which all of them do. I hope people know that.
okay.
Some people don't.
Okay. Maybe you can tell me. Yeah. No, I mean like.
They all got work to do.
There's
people.
no such thing as a turnkey home.
No. I mean, sure.
I mean, yeah, but
No.
no. Not for probably a normal blue collar or even
My house included, man.
You said you're doing the kitchen right now.
Yeah. It's the beauty of home ownership, though, too, man. It's like if you get to buy something and make it your own, it's cool. It is really cool, and I never thought about it too, but it is an investment, and it is a good investment. I've watched people, especially with this COVID shit, in the last 7 years, purchase and then end up turning out pretty good because of all the inflation and stuff.
Yeah.
That's just it's unfortunate for some people, but like some people got a very fortunate end of that where they saw their values go up on a simple investment that they just wanted a home for themselves, and now they're finding themselves with $80K in equity that they never imagined to. So it's really cool. It's kind of like the hack for dumb people like me. It's like I can buy a house and hold it for 10 years, and I'll at least have some equity. Houses only appreciate. They do not depreciate. Unless that bitch burns down or something like that.
Yeah.
They either appreciate really fast or not as fast.
Maybe I need to be a dumb person to buy a house.
Well, that's how it goes. But it's and everybody's in their own position, but it's like I didn't think I was in a position to buy a house. Hillary is a smart person, and she's just like, hey, I think we can. Okay, financially we're looking at our numbers. I'm like, damn, I think we can. Holy shit, that's scary.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm gonna buy a house. I don't want to buy a house. I just want to go back to my $500 rental. Thank you, Michael Brighting.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we can buy a house. No, we can buy a house. So me and her, we both had apartments at the time. Got rid of our apartments, bought a camper, totally renovated the camper.
Renovated the camper.
Yeah. Bought it from somebody. It was completely rotted out. The whole slide out was rotted. Like, no, it's got no water issues. Like, it's great. And there's a dehumidifier in there when we came to see it. I didn't know. I'd never bought a camper before. So we get it, and it is toasted in the slide, like rotted, like we're putting our finger through the wood. So that was our first, as a team with me and her, we're gonna renovate this thing. We ditched our apartments, renovated the camper, and lived in it for like a year and a half. Lived in it through most of a winter, like water lines freezing. I'm waking up to go to work, and got to take a shit at Circle K because my water lines are frozen.
Where'd you have it?
So we lived in the summer. You're not even supposed to, but thank God that the owners were super cool with us. We weren't really partying at the time, so we stayed at Loyal Oak Lake Campground in Norfolk.
Okay.
Not really supposed to long-term stay, but
I mean,
it was great. So we stayed the whole summer there,
and
then her parents were kind enough that we put it on their property in Bath.
Okay.
And I mean, we got hay bales, stacked them up around the bottom of it to stop the wind from blowing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a job, man. Hillary says that she could still be in it. I needed some space. And I mean, you start getting a little cabin fever hold up in a 35-foot camper with her and Rex at the time and the dog. It's like it was a lot. But it was such a cool experience to do that and share that with somebody.
You're going to look back on those years. I mean, obviously, but you're going to look back on them fondly.
And Rex will too. We lived at the campground for a year. Like it was, we had a lake to ourselves every day.
Yeah.
And then she went and she's a master, man. Shout out to Hillary, Revelation Jameson Designs. She does interior design, refinishes furniture, painting. Like she's like a jack of all trades when it comes to
not a Joe of all trades.
Not a Joe of all trades. Okay. She's a Hill of all trades.
All right.
And that was a nice plug, actually.
Yeah, thanks.
She, I mean, dude, just put me to work, and then she came up with the whole idea of it. Like we stripped the decals off that thing. We turned it into like a moving house. We painted it like a house and everything. Did the interior. That thing was laid out. It looked like a studio apartment, and we sold it for. She sold it. We did not. She sold it.
Yeah.
Herself for a great price. Like we lived in that thing for almost 2 years. Got to spend a whole summer in it. spent a winter in it, laughed in it, cried in it, and then worked on it, and then sold it for a profit. Like it was one of the coolest experiences too, and that helped us free up that little bit of time, almost 2 years of no rent, to save up and and buy that house too.
That's awesome. I mean, like you're making a sacrifice, but you're building
for
something.
a reason.
But what is these sacrifices in an apartment?
Yes.
But like dude, you're putting that for the ultimate goal,
yes.
and you were able to do that. And
Yep. And luckily we're blessed with people to help us as well, like family and and letting us stay there or whatever the case may be. And she, you saying that she is good at that and I'm not, hey, this is what we're doing to sacrifice. I just kind of fly from the seat of my pants, and I have an idea of, but I'm just kind of just living. And she is just she's the best thing that could ever happen to me. She's goal oriented. She has an idea of what she wants for us and the family, and she has introduced me to that to make that even a possibility now. She's got an idea. If it was just me, I'd just be wandering in a squiggly line for the next 60 years. She's got an idea of hey, this is what we want, this is what we should focus on. So it's been so cool to team up with somebody like that.
That's awesome.
That's what it's about, man. Finding that teammate. She's literally my best friend. I mean, we have laughed together. When I met her, I was coming out of my last rehab at Raymar, right around the corner. In Akron, in the hood. I was coming out of Raymar, and I was living in a halfway house, kind of like a 3/4 house. You're definitely not supposed to have girls over there. And, I don't know if I told her it was like a halfway house, but I'm like, yeah, come over to my place. It's in Firestone Park. And I got a couple roommates. It's like, I got her staying the night in the twin bed, and we're just laughing all night. Just laughing. Just spending a good time together. And there was a guy in there. He told on me. To the staff and everything, and it was his statement was oh, they're always fucking laughing. They're up all night laughing. So that's what we joke about, and we're still 6 years later. We're just laughing.
He's fucking laughing.
All they do is fucking laugh. And he was a pretty miserable guy. God bless him. I hope he's all right, because I get it. That was probably the worst to see this kid. I'm the skinny, small guy, and I got the most beautiful girl. It's coming into a halfway house, God bless her. She's just a saint to even give me the time of day. But that was what's cool is we came from that, you know what I mean? We came from on the twin bed in a halfway house to buying our own house, and we got a California King, and it's too big. We're too far away from each other now. Now she complains that I never get close to her in bed, so... in 5 or 6 years, that can be anybody. 5 or 6 years is a good time, man. It takes one day at a time. It really is. All these sayings that are in these 12-step, they're all cliche, but they're cliche for a reason because they're real. And that's life in general. It's just one day at a time. It's one run at a time. It's one workout at a time. It's one round of golf at a time. And then you wake up one day and you're like, damn, I'm actually better. I'm better than I was a year ago, or a month ago. Man, it's been cool. And that was what's cool is us getting to be able to link up together recently and go golf like that. I think I had golfed with you years ago. I think we've golfed together before that. But
years ago.
But that was so cool to be able to link up with everybody. We got Michael Briding coming off the couch and shooting an 81 or 82. Just absolutely a piece of shit. I can't believe he did that.
Mike plays golf twice a year. We play twice a week, and he beats us by 6 strokes.
Smashed us.
Infuriating.
Shout out to Michael Briding.
But
that was cool, man. So
we gotta do that more. We do.
For sure. So it's so cool to see, I'm 35. Our lives are still moving, but things come back around, man. Everything is cyclical, in life to me. It's on a line, but it's in a circle. And we're just moving along, and things come back around. So it's cool to see a group chat come up with a bunch of us that, the 12 or 15 of us that used to be the best.
And just House put it together and just did it.
That was so cool, man.
It was House that came up good idea. I'm like, we should go golfing. Like, fuck yeah. I mean, like, I love my golf group guys.
Yeah, for sure. It's fun to golf with some people that you haven't in a while too.
Yeah.
And just like, seeing you guys, and that's so much fun, man.
There's just nothing like, having a friend or having a group of friends where it's like, I saw you yesterday, or I saw you 10 years ago,
right,
and I can't tell the difference.
Right, spend so much time together and go through so many cool things together. It's just like, just pick up where you left off. Yeah, man, it's super cool.
All right, well, so I will plug the business again.
Awesome, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah, go ahead and do that, and then all the stuff will be in the description below.
Yeah. Find me on Facebook, Ryan Stimac, Stimac. If you don't know me, I always forget what my Instagram is. Stimac_Ryan, Stimac_RYAN. Just normal social stuff.
Okay.
I don't really do anything. With real estate, it's so cool. It's just like, I'm a person that's a real estate agent.
Yeah.
And it's like we just.
I mean, I found it pretty easy. I Googled Ryan Stimac realtor, and then obviously it's pretty easy to find the elite sales team and all that stuff like that.
That's so cool.
So
I went from Googling Ryan Stimac and seeing mugshots and stuff to like Googling Ryan Stimac and seeing headshots.
I didn't see any mugshots.
It's so cool, dude. It's so cool, man.
All right.
It's what happened.
Well, dude, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you so much for being the first person. I love you, dude, from the bottom of my heart.
Love you too, Joe. This was a lot of fun.
So.
I could have kept talking to you all night.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got to get home.
I thought this was gonna be hard. No,
dude, you're a natural. Go ahead if you like this. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And that is the first real episode of the Joe of All Trades long form podcast. All right, thanks everybody. Take care.
See you guys.
Bye.